abusia for say dey yakwa say MPP ne dey 8 years on bedi oye omega na so no obia kire say anaso obia de ne sa ebo ne bo say ono de oye kronfo ono de ono so eba be wia eye omega na ne bi say e say na time aso a just on fa ni agro obe wi omega na kasa and Kevin Kobadu tell leak some information be there for honorable Mustapha Hamid wani na FIA $300 million contract for pay signing and some chrono bi and sika bi pay ya twen abrana oye CEO edema MPA abusia Kevin Alikinsem wa cancer men nsem pia bonten nsem no edorso nsem na no eden krono sempa abusia we dem amekasa wa mamkasa nya tintin pese ye kone kokotie bra Mustapha Hamid abusia wa bebo na se dwuma wadi ama eye Ghana abusia ye kone kokotie na se wi na se wa dwenche bia abomoden na ya kire ya dwe hada so ye be media gh so abomoden subscribe like na mbo ahema foforo pensem no bia tie no enya bi entie yente Kevin Kobadu tell na nsem odi to dwa efa honorable Mustapha Hamid former CEO edema MPA abusia yente no nsem na tese yes
will have to go to jail because oti MPA and now what done MPA I'm trying to get somebody out and now what done MPA in the property and Mustapha Hamid is stealing. He has neglected the process. The board has been neglected. MPA, procurement department, they have been neglected. MPA, Mustapha Hamid, in the history of MPA, has created 2 positions, deputy CEOs, because he created a shield that will not stop him from stealing. As Ghanaians, these things are very important to say DHD. First, me scandal na me di bibia bremo. Na enkwasiafo we ni Joy News for omne Paul Adomoche kwasiampanyi no omne kwa Mustapha kan jotini no kweku ba ko nkwasiafo no omne sa emmoa no mgu Angel FM KT sa nkwasiafo no na oba betena ho anopa unya beifo te se ekua pocket so betena Maryland anka hanya nkonko fie wo hu sa ha de bia onya bibia otifie oba na hem akwade ba ro be hurada so sansemfo no no mo defend o mo afa ways bi enti dia me en se me mamo sope wow we near din no aka say we meboa kwase bitini radio so was Kevin Taylor di atem na aboa disika menka nche nsenya minhira no. Let's move forward. Don't cry. Sa ofu wona na to aka say wallahi we will rescue this nation. Sa ofri jatowe our agenda. Sana ofri jatowe our agenda obewieska zongo broni ofri. They have neglected their people. Imrebi omde dogoyaro bitinti bi ono so fe Mustapha Hamid kwasia ewia ban musika de man call scholarships call Russia so de kosua oil so de and the omunyina te eye Ghana oil so Ghana gas sa kwasia tinti bi fe Mustapha Hamid ono so we jimye omo no omo be defend pepe e defend zongos no omo de omo kwasia etwa eye zongofo ntro ewifo. That boy, I'll get his picture and show you. Omo wia ban sika you say scholarship kwasia omo na nanom di Mustapha Hamid echi. Honestly, friend Mustapha Hamid, I'll get you that boy's picture. Now, I am going to speak in Chi for you to understand the gravity of the corruption Mustapha Hamid is involved in. Mokai said a few months ago, I talked about a story. Mustapha Hamid was promoting 2 people to become bosses ahead of their directors at MPA. I did that story here. The whole media in Ghana, everybody kept quiet. Mustapha Hamid has become this guy. Some guy at the MPA called what's his name? I'll get you his name. Amwa. Yes. Mamin Chamo. Now, this guy. Come on, Mihiamo. Mustapha Hamid in he is the boss of NPA. Petro, diesel, I want Ghana in Yinano, on a shan and sa, wallahi, pepe ni boy, we. Oka bibia na kwa Qur'an asamaba. Oka kronu bia na kwa Qur'an asamaba. We muna omo gangi tia mahama. Se omo dia omo ye kronkron sikawia dia omo ye bida. Omo ye honestly from the Quran. Abompire they will never steal from Ghanaians. This guy. I dislike him because he always uses Quran to do politics. And he pass out on time. Sao Frija Towe and they on a head MPA. They catch them, say, these are not people we should trust. Now, there's another person, your friend, Jake Amwa. We ena e use Mustapha Hamid our MPA office. Jake Amwa we no Mustapha Hamid recently promoted him. Story be to become the boss of Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund. UPPF. Mustapha Hamid elevated guy with this guy has been at the NPA for a long time or a hardened criminal. Go to the police CID office. He has a case there. Investigations about this guy, Jake Amwa. Or dangerous. And he's one person using Mustapha Hamid. Mustapha Hamid too is greedy. So they are basically trying and they have been stealing from us. Go to the police CID office. Nebusa said, who is Jake Amwa? 2017. You didn't call CID office for a serious investigations to be done on him concerning MPA building. Mumusa a yes CID board said, what has happened to this case about this guy called Jake Amwa? What I'm about to tell you, the whole MPA board, my source is on the board. The board is even scared. You know why? Because what Mustapha Hamid and this Jake Amwa are doing, later, some people even on the board go to jail. So the board source called me and said, this is dangerous. I know you are following this story, but I want to help. Because what I am seeing here, they are getting some of the money. They don't care. They all know. 99% of board following him, he knows about this deal. So when I was working on this, and my source also came and said, I want to give you some information. Thank you. Because I have followed Mustapha Hamid to Texas. I followed this Mustapha Hamid guy to Texas. Why did I follow him to Texas? Because Mustapha Hamid had an agenda. Oko Texas recently. Dallas. Okoya debut at the blind side of everybody. O free oba and obey a sala party no mokai. He was in Texas. Or didn't he 10 in a coy? Jake Amwa we no count. Now let's move on. Maybe some church na Ghana for TSC. I'm not going to do too much English. I will try and let you understand. Part 1 in Chemu Bibi. See, today a letter was presented. Don't do this. A letter was presented to the special prosecutor. And what is that letter? I mean, read the letter no. Now, and be the basis of our expose tonight. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, 6 Hill Selassie Avenue, blah, 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 blah. Data, Eshono. You can see it down there, 27th May 2022. Stamp from the Special Prosecutor's Office. This petition has been accepted by the Special Prosecutor. Journalist or Ghana or say Mebuano Monday Uncle Special Prosecutor's Office and ask for this document and say what is in there. Is it true that somebody has petitioned the Special Prosecutor on this matter? So you can see it there. And the person who petitioned is Elikem Kotoko. Now, let me read what is in it. Because as we speak, it's on the desk of the Special Prosecutor. Investigations has to open right now. He cannot tell Ghanaians he's not going to open investigations into this. Who read the letter? What is in them? I mean, reading them. Petition: procurement breaches on the renewal of contract between the National Petroleum Authority and Mesa Nationwide Technologies Limited. Technology Partners Authentics. Company na ewo Ghana na friend no Nationwide Technologies Limited. Omo international partners no ye from Authentics. Yes. Now, this is what the petition says. Let me zoom in for you people. I'm going to read it so that you can follow. I don't need to zoom in that much. After this show, we will publish this on Loud Silence Media website, loudsilencenews.com, on our Facebook, all platforms. Send a journalist here for Jimmy Fono. They can get access to it and then also go ask questions. I write to petition your office to investigate the National Petroleum Authority, MPA, on procurement infractions surrounding the contract renewal under National Fuel Marking Scheme. Now, National Fuel Marking Scheme, now I'll come back and explain to you, entered between the National Petroleum Authority and Mesa Nationwide Technologies Limited and its technology partners, Authentics. The procurement process surrounding such renewal is very clear, and I am convinced that the authority, under watch of its current chief executive, Dr. Mustapha Hamid, failed to follow due process in renewing the said contract. Due process is a word that is very, very important. Due process, and a year ABAJ did not follow. And the original court, no. Due process is very important. So keep that word too in your head. Any markings, no, petroleum markings. All right. The process, as we know on such matters, are the authority having decided to renew the said contract will undertake the following. Into contract, no, as the boss of MPA, no, and send our best sign contract via no, your procedure. I was say we are then udiso process, and sana u go through that process na we exhaust the process na, and sana wait to me I say the MPA, you being the boss, no, renew a contract with a current existing company or a new company. So those things are default. Bronica said defaulter. You can't bypass those process and go sign a contract with another company or existing company you are even having contract with, or the contract is about to expire. You can only sign a contract with another company as the MPA boss by making sure you exhaust or you go through this process, and sana you get the nod. Now, what are the procedure or process? A, that the decision to renew the said contract should have been discussed at the UPPF Management Committee for approval. Now, the person I showed his face, a friend, Jake Amwano, on recently Mustapha Hamid promoting the handle a UPPF, which is also known as the Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund. Inti Sir Jake Amwana me can ask him to see on a recently Mustapha Hamid moving to call UPPF. Now the procedure is you need UPPF to do what? Grant, or you should discuss it with them, their committee, before the approval can go on. That is one. Two, remember Jake Amwano, he's part of this deal. Also at the head of UPPF. Recently na Mustapha Hamid moving back top one. B, from there, so a process I also follow. It follows a sequence. We UPPF committee meeting for them to say, okay, we approve her. Then you move to the next one, which is from there. It should have gone to the OARS for discussion and approval. Now, that is another step. I will say you need to go, and son will move work. You're getting close to closing a deal or renewing a contract. The C, I say, then the procurement department under the board will memo to approve the said renewal, follow it up in writing to the Central Tender Review Committee of the National Petroleum Authority for approval. It says then the procurement department under the board. So the board of NPA, they have a procurement department. Now, from that second one, you go to the procurement department under the board to approve the said renewal. Now, after that, you follow up in writing to where? To the Central Tender Review Committee, where we board, department, which is procurement department, you still have to write to the Central Tender Review Committee of the National Petroleum Authority for approval. So far you need 3 approvals, and the law says you need to exhaust all of this process before you can renew a contract with any company. D, now when you go to the next paragraph, it is only when the above process had been exhausted that the CEO, through the legal department, will commence any renewal process to re-engage nationwide technologies. So until these processes are exhausted to the fullest, the NPA cannot go ahead and renew any contract. That's it. You don't have to argue about this. It is straightforward. Until these three processes, going to the board, procurement department, making sure that UPPF management committee has approved, making sure say you go to the OA, all these three processes needs to be exhausted fully before the boss of MPA, Mustapha Hamid, can put his signature on a document and say, I have renewed a contract. Now, as it stands, the above process have been violated, and I write to request your office to initiate a full-scale investigation to be conducted and the culprits punished. God bless our homeland, Ghana. It was received by the Special Prosecutor's Office, stamped, and that is his unique stamp. It is on record. This is the receipt. If you go there on Monday, it is there. Now, let's now go into the issue itself. Now, the issue we are talking about is a processor. You have to go to board to do what? To get approval. So in all, Mustapha Hamid needs the approval of the board